WTOP-10 Nightly News. This week is Engineering Week on the Oswego campus. We have the latest on some events held earlier today and what's to come.
And SUNY Oswego's Office of Sustainability offers spring cleanup at the lakeshore, how you can get involved.
But first, local drug busts have become increasingly common in the city of Oswego. We have details on the most recent seizure that took place earlier today.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Haley Kaiser.
And I'm Joe Seidman.
The Oswego City Police Department has been cracking down on drugs and violence in the community. There have been 8 drug-related arrests made in Oswego County in the past week. The Oswego Police Neighborhood Engagement Team, also known as OPNET, have utilized active intelligence and conducted thorough investigations that have led to these arrests.
There has also been the seizure of cocaine, methamphetamine, and other drug paraphernalia. Oswego Chief of Police Phil Cady says they added an investigator to the OPNET team to target specifically drug dealing in the Oswego community. The chief also continues to encourage residents to call Oswego City Police with concerns.
This week is Engineering Week at SUNY Oswego. Today, the Office of Career Services hosted the Engineering Industry Showcase, allowing interested students to meet with employers and graduate schools. Tomorrow's event is a Women in Engineering panel from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in Shinneman Room 175. Guests from regional partners and alumni in the field of engineering will share their journey in the field and answer questions from students.
Local authors will speak at the Oswego County Library this Saturday. The Oswego event will feature Laura Donnelly, chair of the SUNY Oswego English and Creative Writing Department, and Linda Loomis, former journalism professor. Both authors will read from and discuss their work and participate in a Q&A session. The event is free and open to all and will take place on Saturday, April 5th from 2 to 3 p.m.
The Shining Waters campus cleanup is happening this Thursday. Shining Waters is a partnership between the Office of Sustainability and Community Services. The partnership allows for Oswego students to collaborate with other students through weekly cleanups of the campus and lakeshore. The event is free for faculty and students and begins at 5 p.m. Participants should meet at the MCC Welcome Center across from the Crossroads.
Sheriff Don Hilton announced today that in recognition of April's Autism Awareness Month, the Oswego County Sheriff's Office is adopting the Blue Envelope program. This is a program being promoted by the New York State Sheriff's Association to keep drivers with autism safe during traffic stops. The program encourages people with autism to obtain a blue envelope from the Sheriff's Office to keep relevant documentation in. For questions or to receive a blue envelope, drivers can contact the Sheriff's Office at 315-349-3307 or they can stop by the Public Safety Center at 39 Churchill Road here in Oswego.
You know, Joe, the weather has been a little cold recently. We even had some hail today.
I fully agree. And let's get a quick look at our weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Aurora Fitzgerald.
What do we have, Aurora?
That's right, guys. This weather has been crazy, and we were seeing some hail today out there. It's kind of weird, but we're definitely seeing that 36 degrees, which is almost at 32 degrees, that magic number for freezing. Right now, wind chill is at 30. It is very windy outside, very, very cold. Humidity is at 90%. Pressure is a little up there, and it is a little windy. We have east winds at 6 to 13 miles per hour, but I'll have more coming up in my full forecast. For now, back to you guys.
Thank you, Aurora. In state news, a judge has permanently dismissed federal corruption charges against New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The move to dismiss the charges began in February, with the Department of Justice saying that continuing interfered with the mayor's ability to govern.
Adams addressed reporters Wednesday, calling the corruption charges, quote, baseless.
I also want to apologize to New Yorkers for having to go through this with me. A baseless case that should have never been brought in the first place.
Mayor Eric Adams also reiterated this case shouldn't have been brought on in the first place, and he is still planning to run for re-election.
Earlier today, Oneida County won a restraining order against Governor Kathy Hochul. The initial restraining order issued by Hochul banned any corrections officers who participated in a strike in February from working a government job in New York. Oneida County filed to block the executive order on March 19th. Weeks later, State Supreme Court Justice Christina Ryba overruled Hochul. Ryba's ruling will not apply statewide and solely in Oneida County.
The New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision Commissioner has announced that some incarcerated individuals will be moved to residential treatment facilities. Prisoners within 15 to 115 days of release and have identified and approved residents that meet certain requirements may be approved. There are many qualifications varying on the crime and the residence that must be verified on a facility level. This move is to ensure the safety of staff and prisoners alike within the incarceration system.
A Utica man was arrested after allegedly stealing $700 worth of cookies. Charles Green was arrested on March 28th by the Utica Police Department after a burglary investigation that started in January. Utica police say Green shattered a window at a local grocery store, later fleeing the store with $700 worth of cookies. Police say Green allegedly stole cases of beer from another store on February 1st, and Green now faces multiple charges.
Still ahead tonight, President Trump unveils new tariff policies at a White House Rose Garden speech today. How this will affect U.S. foreign relations.
Plus, federal employees getting their jobs cut at Health and Human Service buildings. What other industries could expect cut soon?
And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
I had to eat a raw egg on Chris's dormitory floor.
I currently don't have any federal pending charges.
You know what you never did? You never walked to Walmart, Chris. That's my co-host. This is for making me eat roast Pop-Tarts. It's showtime, Chris. Come on.
I want to be on the air for that. I got a couple things to say.
No. Spin the wheel. So you got censorship.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to...
Look at our current conditions. We were seeing a little bit of sleet today, but why are we seeing this when we're seeing a temperature of 36? That's not exactly 32 degrees. So taking a look at this graph, this side is colder and this side is warmer. When it starts to rain and or snow, sometimes there can be temperature inversions, which is going to give us that weird shape right here. So it'll start to snow in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Then it'll melt if it gets warmer, and then it'll freeze because once we get back down to the ground with the inversion, it'll get cold again. So that's probably why we're seeing all of that sleet and hail and weird temperatures. And tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit eventful. I'm hoping for a thunderstorm. They're one of my favorites. and it'll be a 65 tomorrow. Definitely very windy, winds southwest at 16 to 21 miles per hour, gusting maybe even more. The thunderstorms, there's a chance of them. We might not see them, we could see them, but we're going to get a lot of rain within the next few days. Taking a look at Thursday, definitely 15% chance for those thunderstorms. Friday, not so much. But unfortunately, once we get into the weekend, we see that at 90%, 77%. It'll dissipate into next week, but it's going to be, unfortunately, a rainy weekend and a little bit cold. Taking a look at our futurecast, 9 a.m. on Thursday, things are going to start to clear up. And then going into Thursday at 3:30 p.m., we're going to see some scattered showers around. And we see this front down here, which is thankfully not going to hit us. By Friday, we should be seeing clear skies by the evening or around dinner time. And then the clouds are going to start to move in, which is going to bring that front for more rain later in the week. Taking a look at Thursday, 66 degrees. It's going to be warm, but unfortunately rainy. But since it is warmer, that's what is probably going to cause those chance of thunderstorms. But then it's going to drop down to 39 degrees. And then this is going to bring PM showers, rain showers. And then taking a look at Sunday going into the weekend, rain, even a chance of snow, mixed precipitation on Monday as we get back down below 32 to that 30 degrees. Tuesday, chance of showers, and then hopefully the sun will shine again in the middle of the week. That's all for my full weather forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aurora. Senate Republicans unveiled their new budget blueprint earlier today. It follows a House resolution passed in February that calls for at least $1.5 trillion in cuts. Next up in the process is what's called Vote-A-Rama, allowing both sides of the aisle to force a long series of votes on the Senate floor. That could begin as soon as Friday. The Senate would only need a simple majority to pass its budget version before it would kick back to the House to consider.
In reaction to some of the cuts to federal funding, the Trump administration is now facing a lawsuit over the abrupt cancellation of hundreds of research grants. The complaint was filed earlier today by the American Public Health Association, the United Auto Workers, and several scholars. The groups claim that the move to cancel research grants was arbitrary and that the federal grant process is designed to be above politics. HHS has not responded to a request for comment on the lawsuit.
Late this afternoon, President Donald Trump announced his sweeping tariff plan.
He's branded April 2nd as Liberation Day as he aims to redraw economic agreements with U.S. trading partners. Brian Abel has the details.
April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again.
President Donald Trump unveiling his new tariff policy to the world Wednesday. While speaking to a crowd in the White House Rose Garden, he announced an at least 10% tariff on practically all goods coming into the United States, plus even higher rates on dozens of countries that have the highest trade deficits with the United States.
Reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them.
The president said the United States would use the money generated from tariffs to, quote, reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt. Democratic lawmakers slammed the new tariffs before they were even announced.
At the end of the day, what we will see are costs go up for everyday consumers, energy costs, smartphones, cars. We will experience this and largely on the backs of working class people who are just trying to get by.
Trump has already imposed 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminum imports. A 25% tariff on foreign-made cars is set to go into effect on Thursday. In Washington, Brian Abel reporting.
As the international community assesses the impact of Trump's new tariffs announcement, a number of America's trade partners pledged ahead of time to retaliate quickly, including the European Union, Mexico, Canada, China, Japan, and South Korea. More job cuts are coming to U.S. health agencies. On Tuesday morning, an official at Health and Human Services sent an email to some employees saying their positions are being eliminated. Last week, the HHS said it would trim 10,000 full-time employees on top of the 10,000 who exited voluntarily. Among the departments where cuts are expected, the Food and Drug Administration and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
On Monday evening, New Jersey Democrat Cory Booker took to the Senate floor where he stood for 25 hours and 5 minutes. He did this as a gesture of disapproval for President Donald Trump's actions in his first months, saying that he believes the president has inflicted harm onto the safety and financial stability of Americans. He broke the record for the longest filibuster, surpassing Senator Strom Thurmond, who spoke for 24 hours and 18 minutes back in 1957.
When WTOP-10 Nightly News continues, a study says gender-affirming hormone therapy may help lower depression, and the science behind it.
And the FDA has delayed the full approval of a COVID-19 vaccine. What happened with the Novavax? Hey, floor manager, you might want to get Hunter set up.
Welcome back to Major Discussion.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the Earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News.
In consumer news, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has delayed the full approval of Novavax COVID-19 vaccine. The FDA is apparently looking for more data on the vaccine. Their decision was due on April 1st, but Novavax says they haven't heard anything. If approved, it will become the third vaccine against COVID-19 to receive full approval.
A recent study revealed that gender-affirming therapy may help with mental health. The study showed that patients who were given hormones had a 15% lower risk of moderate to severe depression. The patient's symptoms were measured for 4 years through follow-up appointments. The numbers from these appointments were compared with those of patients who were not prescribed hormones. Researchers have concluded that the treatment is both safe and effective.
Nearly 3 million U.S. adults have epilepsy, according to the CDC, and for about 1/3 of those patients, medications don't stop the sudden seizures.
Right now, many treatment options for those with drug-resistant epilepsy are invasive and involve major surgery, including the removal of the area of the brain that's causing the seizures, but new research could offer new options to those with the most severe forms of epilepsy.
It's difficult to live your life, to do predictable things, to have the confidence that I can safely drive to work.
The Mayo Clinic in Florida also has another clinical trial that's ongoing in patients with severe epilepsy. Scientists there are combining deep brain stimulation with the implantation of special stem cells in the hopes that the procedure can better change the way the nervous system carries information to and from the brain during a series of techniques called neuromodulation. A lot of interesting things are happening in sports this week.
We're joined by Hunter Raymonak in the studio.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, we'll have a recap of women's lacrosse and highlight some recent Laker honorees. Plus, a former Knicks star player is heading to the Hall of Fame. Find out who it is after the break.
Of 76, yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Oswego State women's lacrosse took on SUNY Canton at home today, and what a dominating win for the Lakers. They got off to a hot start, scoring 7 goals in the first period and would not look back. Oswego's barrage is highlighted by junior Alexis Hill, who scored 4 goals in total. The Lakers take this one 15-4 over Canton and improve to 7-2 on the season. The awards keep coming for the Oswego State Lakers. Today, the SUNY women's swim and dive honorees were announced, with 2 going to Oswego. First up is Rookie of the Year, which went to freshman Isabella McDonald. McDonald made the all-conference team after finishing second in the 500-yard freestyle race as part of the 2025 SUNY Championships. Secondly, Oswego won Coaching Staff of the Year. The staff led the team to a 3rd-place finish in the SUNY AMCC Championship and had 7 student athletes make the all-conference team. Congrats to the winners. Moving on to professional sports, a New York basketball legend is getting the greatest honor of all. 10-time NBA All-Star Carmelo Anthony will be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame later this year. Melo played for 19 seasons in the NBA, including 7 with the New York Knicks. He averaged 22.5 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game throughout his career. He also has connections with Central New York. Before getting drafted by the Nuggets, Anthony played for Syracuse University in 2003, helping the Orange win their only NCAA championship to date. He also dominated on the international stage, earning 3 Olympic gold medals as a member of Team USA. On to MLB news. The New York Mets cannot catch a break with all these injuries. It was announced Tuesday that pitcher Sean Manaea will not throw for 2 weeks after he experienced a setback during his recovery from a right oblique strain. Manaea was originally shut down in February and was expected to return to the roster by late April. However, Mets manager Carlos Mendoza says that date is no longer feasible. As we're going to head to the Bronx here, we have a first of 3 between the Yankees and the Diamondbacks here. As we go into the top of the 3rd, Corbin Carroll at the dish against Will Warren. He's going to send this one way out of here for his first home run of the season. As it's going to be a 2-0 Diamondbacks lead. As Carroll, not a guy normally known for his power, more known for his speed, but in Yankee Stadium, anything goes out here. As we head to the bottom of the third, Jason Dominguez sending this one into the seats. The Martian goes into orbit. His first home run of the young season as the Yankees answer right back with a homer of their own. And now they're just down 2-1. As big hopes for Jason Dominguez here in this young season. As we're going to head to the bottom of the fourth here, Anthony Volpe and his torpedo bat is going to go deep into left field. And we've got a tie game here, 2-2. As Volpe hits his third home run on the season. Those torpedo bats really helping out the Yankees, but hey, everyone's using them around the league. And there you go, 2-2 game. As we're going to go later here in the bottom of the fourth, 2 runners on for Oswaldo Cabrera. And he's going to hit a grounder to Josh Naylor, trying to feed Burns for the easy out, but he's going to somehow over-toss go over the toss here. Put a little too much mustard on that. Both runners come in to score, and it's going to be a 4-2 Yankees lead as Naylor, like I said, just put a little too much mustard on that throw, and the Yankees are going to take the lead. We go to the top of the 8th, bases loaded for the Diamondbacks. Eugenio Suarez, what a hot start he's off to. 5 home runs on the year. This one, the biggest of them all. A go-ahead grand slam. And the Diamondbacks take a 7-4 lead and will hang on to win this one as they take it over the Yankees 7-5.
Hunter, thank you. And stick around to hear about National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel too. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a closer with that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
It's peanut butter jelly time!
Today, April 2nd, is National Peanut Butter and Jelly Day.
The first known recipe for a PB&J sandwich was in a Boston cooking magazine back in 1901, which predates sliced bread.
Peanut butter and jelly is such a classic in the US, so make sure to show social media how you're celebrating PB&J. Me personally, guys, I'm not the largest PB&J fan. I'm sorry, I know it's the National Day, but how about you, Aurora? What's your thoughts on PB&J?
I love PB&Js. White bread, creamy peanut butter, but I prefer raspberry jelly actually.
Oh.
How about you, Haley?
I go for the classic creamy peanut butter, grape jelly, but if you toast it like it's a grilled cheese, that kind of elevates it. What about you, Hunter?
I'm pretty standard with my PB&J. I actually had one for lunch today, so hey, happy PB&J day. Hey, heck yeah.
Way to rep it, Hunter.
Oh yeah.
How do
Number
you feel,
one guy.
Oh yeah. How do you feel about chunky peanut butter?
Don't associate those people.
Oh.
No.
Well, That's our report for tonight.
I'll be sure to stay tuned for the OP coming up next.
Yep. Thank you for watching.
Have a great night, everyone.